When a carrier qualifies for the short haul exemption, then the carrier is not required to daily record their drivers with grid-style logs, otherwise known as record of duty status or RODS. Although the motor carrier must keep daily time cards of the times the driver reports for and are released from work each day, and the total hours of duty each day. So does your company qualify for the short haul exemption? Before answering this, we need to understand what an air mile actually is. An air mile is the distance in a straight line between 2 points. So if the headquarters is located at point A, an air mile is the distance you would travel in a straight line to your destination, point B. You can use an online maps tool to experiment with drawing radii from your office to determine air mile distances. The 100 air mile exemption is for CDL drivers. This is typically drivers of dump trucks, log trucks, or delivery drivers with commercial vehicles over 26,000 pounds, who operate within 100 air miles of their daily starting location, go off duty within 12 hours, reports back to the same location every day, and have at least 10 consecutive hours off before starting their next on-duty period. The 150 air mile exemption is for non-CDL commercial drivers. This is typically drivers of a light and medium weight commercial vehicle between 10,001 to 26,000 pounds, commonly used by smaller local moving companies or smaller construction vehicles who operate within 150 air miles, do not drive through any state that requires a CDL for the type of vehicle being driven, reports back to the same work location every day, and do not drive after the 14th hour of coming on duty in a period of 7 consecutive days. However, if a driver goes beyond their air mile radius more than 8 times in a 30-day rolling time frame, the exemption does not apply anymore. This means the carriers need to track this driver's record of duty status with a daily log instead of a time card, and would then be required to have an ELD in that driver's truck. If your company meets all of these requirements, then no daily paper or ELD logs are needed, except for a paper grid-style log for those few days you do go beyond the short haul limit. Again, motor carriers still need to have a daily time card of those drivers during normal days. So what are you exempt from? Certain hours of service rules apply no matter what. For example, drivers are never allowed to drive more than 11 hours, nor are they allowed to drive after having been on duty for 14 hours. It is important to understand that all of the qualifications listed for each exemption must be met in order to use the exemption. If a situation arises that nullifies even one of the qualifications, then all of the standards of hours of service rules apply. Regarding the ELD mandate, anybody who qualifies for the 100 and 150 air mile exemption is exempt from daily RODS, which means they are also exempt from the ELD mandate. As with all federal motor carrier safety regulations, it is important to familiarize yourself with the hours of service requirements. It may seem like an unnecessary hassle for companies that don't travel long distances, but should an FMCSA auditor find you out of compliance with any of the hours of service rules, the hassle that may ensue could be even more severe. It is best practice, even if you happen to drive beyond the air mile radius one day more than the exemption allows, say once a year, to have an ELD in the truck. The cost of potential fines during an audit with a strict auditor could cost you thousands of dollars, and the benefit of the data an ELD can gather could be even more beneficial to your company and driver. If you have any questions, reach out to the experts at Glowstone at 503-607-1088. Want even more information on exemptions affecting short haulers? Be sure to check out our 1-hour webinar, linked in the description of our video on YouTube.